thousands of community dinners and trained to save lives. Debbie and I are no different. In fact, we were here 33 years ago, last Friday, at our wedding reception. And Debbie, thank you for putting up with me. Deb and I are also joined by our son, Jordan. Our daughter-in-law, Kristen, could not be with us this afternoon, but we are so excited that they are expecting their first child and our first grandchild in May. So this is the very podium where I've always announced my campaigns over the years, 30 years, matter of fact. No matter what happens in the next year or so, I've been blessed to serve in local government, state delegate, a state senator, and had a wonderful career with Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. So when I think about our successes here in Harford County and how I might serve Maryland best and be true to myself, I have decided to run to be Maryland's next comptroller. As we move beyond this pandemic, the next comptroller will certainly need to be tested with governmental experience and be someone who has actually advocated to protect the state's taxpayers and small businesses. After all, the comptroller is the voice of the taxpayer and is also their watchdog. I want to take Harford's model of efficiency and customer service to every corner of the state. We have been able to hold the line on new taxes and launch digital platforms to improve service. I always like to compare it to the last version of your smartphone. Smaller, faster, with better service. With that combination, I've been able to show that we can fund education, public safety, and economic development through innovation and good government. So when thinking about today, I couldn't help recalling my meetings with Comptroller Louis Goldstein when I was president of the student government at Washington College. Mr. Goldstein was an alum and served more than 4 decades on the college board. He would tell us to work hard every day and, most importantly, be a good steward of the people's money. Later, when I was a delegate, he would remember that conversation as I came before the Board of Public Works for what was known back then as the School Construction Begathon. But at the end, of course, he would smile and ask me about this fire company, remind me that he started as a volunteer fireman, and then, of course, God bless me real good. It is with that energy and with that commitment of service that I am uniquely qualified to carry on the tradition of strong Maryland comptrollers. And we're going to take that message throughout the next year and a half. So God bless you, be safe, and we'll see you on the campaign trail. Now I'd like to take a few questions if anyone has a question for me. Jane?
Are we going to see you in Cecil County?
You'll see me in every county in this state. I had the fortune as Maryland Association of Counties president that I got to visit every county as president, part of my year of service there. So I look forward to getting back and working every county. You know, the comptroller represents and really should stay above partisan politics. You represent every taxpayer, every small business, whether they're Democrat, Republican, or independent. And through my career, that's been what I've tried to do, and that's why we're going to visit and work every single community we can.
There were a number of options open for state offices, including governor, perhaps running in the first district. Why comptroller instead of some of the other options?
Yeah. So, you know, comptroller is something I thought about for a year, and it really fits the model of what I've tried to do as far as balancing budgets, being pro-growth, and being able to be a fiscal conservative. You know, you can find ways to make government work better, save money, and yet in Harford County we have fully funded education, our public safety, and done all the things we need to do just by being more efficient. And as you mentioned, I looked at the congressional race, but most of you know me. When you look at GOP congressional primaries nowadays, it's who can get up and be nastier and meaner every day, and divisive. And if you know me, you know that's not me. And I wanted to run for that, but I want to be true to myself and not have to get up every day and be somebody other than who I am. So that's why I picked the Comptroller's race, where I think I can best serve.
As a follow-up to Brian's question, you ever consider running for governor? Was that fleeting?
Yeah, governor is one of the things I looked at. Debbie and I talked about it, and it's a big race. You have to raise a lot of funds, and I think when it came down to it, I just felt like this was the best fit for me. Something I'm really familiar with: revenue estimating, budgeting. The Comptroller collects $16 billion a year and has to disperse it and keep track of it. And I've learned a lot through 30 years of government, how to look out for waste and fraud, but also how to budget well and make sure money is spent well.
What's the Comptroller's office doing now that you would like to change?
Well, I think one of the things we need to do is really, and I think Comptroller Francho has begun to look at that, but I do think efficiency in government. And for example, just look at the unemployment process that we've been through for the last couple of years. We really should have had digital platforms to do a better job. No one should be waiting a year to get their unemployment benefits or call and not get an answer. My staff knows I don't put up with that, and I think we've shown that using the internet digital platforms, you can provide better service to folks and get your things done. So that's one area in particular. And one of the jobs of the Comptroller is to work in information technology and be responsible for a partner in that part of state government. So that would be one area that I think we can do a lot better on. James?
So Maryland hasn't had a Republican Comptroller in a very long time. If I'm doing my math right, it's been over 100 years. Is this going to be an uphill battle and a down ballot race to be won by a Republican in a very blue state?
Yeah, I think, listen, as a Republican in a statewide race, they're all uphill. They are difficult races, but, I think I've shown in 30 years that I have the ability to attract Democrats, independents, Republicans, in a broad coalition. People know me as a hard worker and honest and just forthright with folks. So, it's a tough race, but I think we can frame it. And in this environment, folks are always looking for their Comptroller to be a moderate, someone that's going to look out and be a watchdog and perform those fiduciary responsibilities that a Comptroller has to do. All right, sure. I'll give you two, since you're a local guy.
All right. So, would you have run for Comptroller Francho if the state ended up running for it?
Probably not, no.
Well, following up on that, then, if you would not have run for Comptroller, what would have been your second choice for?
Well, I've been through this speculation and so forth, so who knows what I may have done. Debbie always made me keep on the list that I was going to go back home and be home every weekend, but she's going to let me have one more run here. So who knows, political landscapes change from month to month, if Congressman Harris would have kept his pledge on term limits, I may have ran for the congressional seat. So who knows, but I think that we have settled on the right race at the right time for me and my family and the folks I represent.
And to sort of dovetail off of that, was the uncertainty of Maryland's first congressional district's shape and composition at all a factor in your decision?
No, it really wasn't. I've studied politics a long time and been in politics a long time. Many of you have seen the same changes that I have, but congressional primaries have gotten so divisive and so partisan on the left and the right that you really have to be, very out there and almost angry every day, and the more divisive, the better, you know, and that's just not me. I learned when I was raising sheep one thing for certain when I was trying to catch a ram: you never corner something that's meaner than you are. And I'm not a mean guy. It doesn't cut out for me. All right. Thank you all very much. God bless you. Thank you.